Shall I start, Sampath?
Okay, start.
Okay. Srinivasayati Shresthadeya Patram Gunanvitaha Kaushikoనంతరంగార్యశ్చిరం విజేతాం భువి న్యస్తాత్మీయపరం వరప్రదగురో వైరాగ్యవాగ్యో రదో వేదాంతాం తదారమంతమనఘాత్ శ్రీనివాసాత్ గురోః శ్రీశైలాన్వయకౌస్తుభస్యతనయం శ్రేయోనిధే శ్రీనిధేః వందే సాధుకటాక్షకేళినిలయం శ్రీకృష్ణదత్తేశికం శ్రీనారాయణ యోగీంద్ర వరదారి కృపాశ్రయం రంగేశపాదవినతం శ్రీనివాసమునిం భజే వ్యాసం వసిష్ఠనప్తారం జగతేః పౌత్రమకల్మషం पराशरात्मजं वन्दे शुकदातं तपोनिधिं पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीमष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् श्रीकृष्णपरब्रह्मणे नमः. Offering my pranamams to all the Bhagavatas in this Satsanga, I shall start today's session. In the previous class, we had started with the Mahavakya, and we had gone through, we did the Anusandhana of Bhagavan's Swarupa, Svetara Samasta Vilakshanatva, Anantatva and Jnananandaika Swarupa. That aspect we saw in the last class. Today we shall take up the next part of the Mahavakya, where Bhagavad rAmAnuja goes ahead and describes the wonderful Kalyana gunas of Shri Krishna. Swabhavika navadhika atishaya ज्ञानबलेश्वर्य वीर्य शक्ति तेज प्रभृति असंख्येय कल्याण गुणगण महोदधिः. This is the phrase Bhagavad rAmAnuja uses. Now, after describing the Svetara Samasta Vilakshanatva and the Swarupa of Sriman Narayana, Shri Krishna, Bhagavad rAmAnuja starts describing his gunas, his Divya Mangala vigraha, and astras, bhushanas, and all the other aspects. So here there are two things that we have to see. The Swarupa is the substance which is the ashraya to all the gunas and Divya Mangala vigraha and everything. Though Divya Mangala vigraha and the gunas are both apratak siddha and they are in the Swarupa, why Bhagavad rAmAnuja has started the gunas first and then the Divya Mangala vigraha? Also there is a significance that the Divya Mangala vigraha and all the other things, the dharana and niyamana of that is also done because of these gunas of Bhagavan. So that is what we understand from the commentaries. So in these gunas, Bhagavad rAmAnuja says, Asankhyeya Kalyana Gunagana Mahodadhihi. Though he is having innumerable, countless number of Kalyana gunas, Bhagavad rAmAnuja says, Jnana Baleshwarya Virya Shakti Tejah Prabhrati. These Shat gunas are described with specific naming, and all the others are Prabhrati is added to add any other guna, all the other gunas including. So there is a pramana that Tavananta Gunasyapi Shadeva Prathame Gunaha Yaihi Tvayeva Jagat Kukshau Tvayeva Jagat Kukshau Anyepi Antarniveshitaha. Though you have innumerable number of gunas, all others are embedded in these 6 gunas which are most prasiddha, most well known in the Shastras as Shat gunas. So Shatgunya Paripurna is Bhagavan. The very first guna is Jnana. Then Jnana, Bala, Aishwarya, Virya, Shakti, Tejas. Bhagavan's 5 different rupas, we have Pararupa, Vyuha Rupa, Vibhava Rupa, Archa Rupa, Antaryami Rupa and all this. So in all these forms, Bhagavan has got all the gunas. And in the Vyuha, there are basically 4 Vyuhas, Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. Vasudeva is Paravasudeva. And after that, the 3 Vyuhas, Sankarshana, Pradyumna and Aniruddha, he the two gunas, the pair of gunas are prominent in these vyuhas. So Jnana Bala is prominent in Sankarshana vyuha, and Aishwarya, Virya and Pradyumna, and Shakti and Tejas in Aniruddha. So Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha are various forms that Bhagavan takes in order to do certain specific acts such as Samhriti, Srishti and Sthiti. Sankarshana, in the Sankarshana form, he does Samhara. Samhara is withdrawal unto himself. That is like Pralaya, where Bhagavan does the Samhriti. That is in the Sankarshana Vyuha, in that form. There, Jnana and Bala are prominent. All the 6 gunas are there every time, all the time. But these are more prominent for these acts. He does Srishti in the Pradyumna as a Pradyumna, and Sthiti, that is sustenance, as Aniruddha. And so these pairs of gunas are most prominent in these vyuhas. And here by Jnana, we understand there is a definition for Jnana. Lakshana is Yo Vetti Yugapat Sarvam Pratyakshena Sada Swataha. So the pramana for this is yes, Sarvajnaha, Sarvavit, Sarvajnaha. He knows everything. This Jnana, in the previous phrase we saw Jnananandaika Swarupaha. There the Jnana which is told is Jnana Swarupa. That is the locus, that is the base, that is the substance. And here Jnana is Guna. Here he is describing the Kalyana Guna Gana. So Jnana is Guna. Bhagavan also has a Guna, Jnana which is substance as well as Guna. Swarupa is also Guna, and Swarupa is also Jnana. Guna is also Jnana. So this Jnana is called Dharma Bhuta Jnana. This is similar to what a Jivatman also has, Dharma Bhuta Jnana. So in the Nityas and Muktas Jnana is evolved completely as much as Bhagavan's Jnana. There is Samya in the Jnana, in the Muktavasthe. So Bhagavan's Jnana is, there is one difference, that he is Swataha. The definition is Yo Vetti, one who knows Yugapat at the same time. Sarvam, everything. Pratyakshena, that is he perceives it directly. Sada, that means all the time. And Swataha, by himself. So that is one difference. The Jnana of Nitya and Muktas are under the Sankalpadhina of Bhagavan. That is, he is the one who grants such a state to them. Whereas Bhagavan, Swataha, Sada, Pratyakshena, Sarvam, Yugapat, Vetti. That is the Jnana, Guna of Bhagavan. That is called Sarvajnatva of Bhagavan. And through this Jnana only, he, Jnana and Bala and all these, he does Dharana and Niyamana of Vigraha and everything else. So Dharmabhuta Jnana, through that only basically the Sharira is supported. Even in a Jivatma's case, the Dharmabhuta Jnana is Vyapta, that is, it's all pervading in the entire body. And though Jivatma is Anu, is located in some part in the body, his Dharmabhuta Jnana is pervading the whole body and supporting it. So this kind of, that is the reason why the gunas are told first, and then the Vigraha is described by Bhagavad rAmAnuja. Bala is Shrama Prasanga Rahita Dharana Samarthyam, it is told. That is without any strain, Shrama Prasanga Rahita Dharana Samarthya. He supports everything without any strain. So the pramanas for these are Esha Setuhu Vidharanaha, Yo Lokatrayam Avishya Vibharti Avyaya Ishwaraha. That is told in Gita also. Vibharti is his Dharana Samarthya. So that is the quality of Bala. Aishwarya is Apratihata Satya Sankalpatva or Sarva Niyantritva. So the pramana for this Esha Sarveshwaraha, Bhutapalaha, all these things are, the Upanishads are telling in many ways. His Satya Sankalpatva is, cannot be stopped by anybody. Apratihata Satya Sankalpatva. That is the, and Sarva Niyantritva. He controls everything. He is the Ishvara of everything. Sarva Niyantritva is also told as Aishwarya Guna. Virya is, though he does all these things, he has Sarvajnatva and he supports everything and he controls everything. He does not undergo any change. Vikara Viraho Viryam. Virya is not undergoing any change in spite of doing all this. That is a guna called virya. Shakti is jagat prakriti bhavo me yaha sa shakti ritiriyate. That is jagat prakriti bhava. Prakriti bhava means being the upadana karana of jagat. This is also established in Brahma Sutras, Prakritischa Pratignya Drishtanta Anuparodhat, and that adhikarana, Bhagavan's upadana karanatva is also established. So sarvopanatva, sarvanirvahakatva, these are all the qualities which are called Shakti. Shakti is a guna here. So in our Siddhanta also Shakti is an adravya. It is a guna. So by Shakti, it is meant that he is capable of being the upadana karana of everything. That is the quality of Shakti in Bhagavan. Tejas is sahakarya nirapekshata and sarvakarya vidhau sahakarya nirapekshata. That is, in whatever he does not need any other instrument or any other help. He can do everything by himself. That is his quality of Tejas. And another description for Tejas is parabhibhavana samarthyam. That is, his shatrus are by hearing his name itself, they shudder at the thought of him itself. That is the Tejas. This is very well known in the instance of Maricha, where he says, Rakaradini namani ramatrastasya ramana. Ratnaniti rathaschaiva vitrasam janeyanti me. He says, if I see any word starting from Repa, Rama, the word Rama starts with Repa. So if I hear any word that starts with Repa, I start shuddering with fear. So that is the Tejas, the quality of Tejas in Bhagavan. So these 6 gunas are called Shad gunas, and he is Shadgunya Paripurna, that is famous in all the Shastras. Jnana, Bala, Aishwarya, Virya, Shakti, Tejas. These are the Shadeva Prathame Gunaha. These are, and the order also is very prominent, very significant. We understand from the commentary why this particular order is told always like this. That is, first he does Jnana, he does Sarva Sakshatkara. Everything is able to see, Pratyaksha. And then whatever he does Sakshatkritam Dharayati, whatever he does Sakshatkara, he is able to support that, he bears all that. And Dharayanneva Niyachati, supporting all these things, he controls everything. And while supporting all these things and controlling, he does not undergo any change. That is a virya. And then all these things he does without any sakari nirapeksha. That means he does not expect any other help or support from anybody else. And he shows all the agatita gatana, samarthya and everything. That is also an aspect of Tejas. So the gunas are, that is why, which are very important for dharana and niyamana of the vigraha and everything else, they are actually described in this manner, and these 6 being very prominent, and all others are Saushilya, Vatsalya, and all the gunas which are there, all the gunas are existing all the time, but they are all avantara gunas of these. And Swabhavika means here, what we understand is ananyadhinatva, swabhavikatva. So he says swabhavika anavadhikatishaya. Swabhavika is ananyadhinatva. That means he is Swatantra. He is not under the control of anybody else. And all other people like Baddha, Mukta, Nitya, they are all Bhagavad Adhinas, and whereas he is not under anybody's Adhina. So Parasya Shakti vividhaiva shruyate swabhaviki jnana bala kriyacha. This is the Shvetashvatara Upanishad says, swabhaviki jnana bala kriyacha. The jnana kriya, bala kriya, they are all swabhavika. And Parasya Shakti, all paratva and swabhavikatva is present in every guna, for all the gunas of Paramatma, it says. And Bhagavad rAmAnuja says here, Mahodadhihi in the end, that is, it's a huge ocean. So, Kalyana Gunagana Mahodadhihi is a huge ocean of Kalyana Gunas. That is, there is a Vishnu Purana says, Yatha Ratnani Jaladhehe Asankheyani Putraka Tatha Gunakyanantasya Asankheya Mahatmana. Just like the gems in an ocean are innumerable, countless, in the same way, the gunas, the qualities of Paramatman are also asankheyaha, that is countless. So that is the meaning, why, that is the purpose of using mahodadhihi. And here guna gana is one important aspect in our Siddhanta, how we, Bhagavad Ramanuja gives kalyana, asankhyeya kalyana guna ganaha. Here the gana means groups of qualities, gunas are individual qualities. So the qualities are grouped in many ways, and asankhyeya applies to ganas and also gunas within the ganas. So that is a speciality. Asankhyeya ganas. That means innumerable, the groups of qualities themselves are countless, and within a group the qualities are also countless. That is the actual meaning that we have to understand. Asankhyeya kalyana guna ganaha. The ganas are countless, and the gunas inside that are also countless. So how the gunas are grouped and all these things we can see from our other acharyas, Vyakhyana Granthas, like Vishnu Sahasranama, for example, 1000 names, all are gunas. Each nama is a guna. Yani namani gaunani vikhyatani mahatmanaha. Every nama is a guna of Paramatman. And those gunas are classified as groups of qualities by Parashara Bhattar in Bhagavad Gunadarpana, which is a wonderful commentary on Vishnu Sahasranama by Bhattar. He says Paratva, Vibhavatva, Vyuha, Archa. He classifies the groups like this. And then in Paraswarupa, Sarveshwara, Purnatva, Sheshitva, Antaratmatva, Prapakatva, Prapyatva. These are sub-classification of groups. Under each groups, there are many names which are coming, Vishwam, Vishnu, Vashatkara. All these names are coming classified in these groups. So the groups themselves are innumerable. Within the groups, the gunas are also innumerable. That's what we have to understand. The grouping is done like that. In a similar way, for Namalvar's Tiruvalmozhi also, Vedanta Deshika has written a work, Dravidopanishad Tatparya Ratnavali, where he says every Pashara, every Dashaka, every Shataka is extolling the various gunas of Paramatma. The first Dashaka says Sevyatva, then first Shataka is Bhogyatva, like that. And within Sevyatva, Sarvasmat Paratva, that is the first Dashaka, is extolling the guna of Sarvasmat Paratva. The second Dashaka is Sarvasamatva, like that. And within the first Dashaka, the first Pashura is extolling Niratishaya Kalyana Gunatva and Niravadhika Ananda Surupatva. Like this, we can see our acharyas grouping the gunas and ganas, the groups of qualities, and then the qualities within those groups. This is seen in our acharyas' works. So, Asankhyeya Kalyana Guna Gana Mahodadhihi, innumerable, countless number of groups of qualities, and within those groups, the qualities themselves are also countless. So, we cannot even imagine that is how it is. So, we can only say Mahodadhihi, just like the gems which are innumerable in an ocean, the qualities of Paramatman are also countless, innumerable. So that is the Kalyana Gunas description given by Bhagavad Ramanuja. And the next, he goes to describe the Divya Rupa of Paramatman, Divya Mangala Vigraha. Swabhimata Anurupa, Eka Rupa, Achintya Divya Adbhuta Nitya Niravadya Niratishaya, Aujvalya Saundarya Saugandhya Saukumarya Lavanya, Yauvana Ananta Gunanidhi Divya Rupaha. So this is the description given for the Divya Mangala Vigraha of Paramatman. The Divya Mangala Vigraha is a very unique aspect that is described by Bhagavad Ramanuja, established in with all the wonderful pramanas in Vedartha Sangraha first, and then it is also described it in as a Brahma Sutra Bhashya, Shri Bhashya, and everywhere. So this is a very unique aspect of our Siddhanta, the Divya Mangala Vigraha Vishishtatva of Paramatma. Paramatma has a Divya Mangala Vigraha, and which is Vilakshana, and it can be known from various Upanishadic Vakyas and various other Shastras. The Karana Vakyas describe his Divya Mangala Vigraha, Upasana Vakyas describe. All these Prakaranas describe the Divya Mangala Vigrahatva of Paramatma. And there is also Astra Bhushanadhyaya in Vishnu Purana. The first Amsha itself, the 22nd chapter, is called Astra Bhushanadhyaya. There also it is described. and it's also coming in Bhagavad Shastra, Agamas and all that. In Vedanta Sangraha, Bhagavad Ramanuja justifies that Paramatma has a Nitya Divya Mangala Vigraha, Nitya Aprakrita, that is, it is not Prakrita, and Nitya means eternal. And he also quotes our Purvacharyas. There are two specific Purvacharyas he quotes. Tankacharya, he is called Vakyakara, and he had written a commentary called Vakya for Chandogya. There, Bhagavad Ramanuja refers Rupam va Atindriyam Antakarana Pratyaksha Nirdeshat. So Atindriya Rupa is there for Paramatman, is told by Tankacharya. And he also quotes Dramidacharya, who Bhagavad Ramanuja refers to as Bhashyakara. That is, Dramidacharya had written a Bhashya for Chandogya Upanishad. There he has written Anjasaiva Vishwasrujo Rupam. Anjasa means Swabhavikam. So Bhagavad Ramanuja quotes this and says, Nahi arupayaha devatayaha rupam upadishyate yatha bhutavadihi shastram, in Vedartha Sangraha. A devata which does not have a rupa, Shastra will not go and describe a rupa for such a devata. And because Shastra is yatha bhutavadi, whatever is there, it describes realities, the Shastra. So all these pramanas, he has established that Paramatma has a Divya Mangala Vigraha, which is Nitya, which is Aprakrita, and in the Brahma Sutra, Antaha Tad Dharmopadeshat, in the first chapter itself, in the first pada, he establishes that Bhagavan has a Divya Mangala Vigrahatva. So another reason we can say why Bhagavad Ramanuja has described the Mahavakya here, where all the Swarupa of Paramatman in most wonderful way, he has described Varupa, Rupa, Vibhava. We can probably understand that in the Brahma Sutras, there are 4 chapters. The first 2 chapters are devoted to establishing the Jagat Karanatva of Paramatman. And the 3rd chapter is Sadhana Adhyaya. The 4th chapter is Phaladhyaya. Why Jagat Karanatva and the Rupa and all are so important? The Upanishad says, Kaschad Dhyeyaha, it says, who is the person to be meditated upon? Karanantu Dhyeyaha, Jagat Karanavastu. And the 3rd chapter is the sadhana. Before sadhana, the upasya devata has to be established very clearly. So if we examine Bhagavad Gita, though all the tattvas, everything is told, it is primarily sadhana oriented. Starts with karma yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga and all that. So in order to even start karma yoga and everything, the Swarupa, Rupa, Guna, Vibhava of upasya devata, Shri Krishna, is first established by Bhagavad Ramanuja in this Mahavakya in a most wonderful way, so that we know who is the Upasya Devata and what is that wonderful characteristic, Swarupa, Rupa, Guna and all this. So, and then we can start the sadhana. So that could be one of the purposes where Bhagavad Ramanuja describes all these aspects in the Mahavakya. So as per the Brahma Sutras and Upanishads, he establishes the Divya Mangala Vigrahatva, which is Abhimata and Anurupa. Abhimata is it's agreeable. Anurupa is perfectly matching the Swarupa of Paramatman. So in this world, in the loka, we see that either one of them is not there. Either Abhimatatva is there, Anurupya is not there. If it is Anurupa, it may not be Abhimata. That is because we are all seeing everything here because of the Karma Vashyatva. Whereas Paramatma's Divya Mangala Vigraha is both Abhimata and Anurupa. And in addition to that, Bhagavad Ramanuja says, Abhimatanurupa Ekarupa. This Ekarupa is very important. Vyuha, Vibhava and whatever forms Bhagavan takes, in all the states, Paramatman's Heya Pratinikatva, Anandavahatva, Mumukshu Upasyatva and all other Swabhavas are present all the time. Whatever forms he takes, every time he is always Ekarupa. He does not have, in this world we see what is known as Shadbhava Vikaras for everybody. We see that there are 6 Bhava Vikaras, that is Asti, Jayate, Vardhate, Viparinamate, Apakshiyate, Nashyati. These are all the 6 Bhava Vikaras they are called. And Vishnu Purana says, Apakshaya Vinashabhyam, Parinamardhi Janmabhihi, Arjita Shakyate Vaktum Yasadasti iti Kevalam. He says, Apakshaya, Vinasha, Parinama, Riddhi, Janma, Asti, all these things are not there. Varjitaha, he is He is devoid of all these bhava vikaras. Then how can you even tell Paramatman if he doesn't have any of the bhava vikaras? How can you even tell? Shakyate vaktum. Vishnu Purana says it is possible to say, yes, sada asti iti kevalam. Yaha sada asti iti kevalam. He is eka rupa all the time. So his Divya Mangala Vigraha also is eka rupa. This is told wonderfully in Vaikuntha Stava by Kuratalvar. Paro va vyuho va vibhava utavarchaavatarano bhavanvantaryami varavaradayo yo bhavasi vai tasatvam sannaishan varagunaganan bibhradakilan bhajadbhyo bhasyevam satatamitarebhyasvitarata. He says whether you are paro va vyuho va vibhava utava archavatarano, whether you are in Pararupa, Vyuha, Vibhava, Archavatara, Bhavanva, Antaryami, whether you are in Antaryami Swarupa, Varavara, Sasatvam San, you become those, you take those forms, but still, Aishan, Vara Gunaganan, Akhilan, Vibrat, all the Kalyana Gunas, Kalyana Guna Ganas, Asankhe Kalyana Gunas, you bear, which are all Ishvara's asadharana gunas, and you bhajadbhyaha bhasyevam satatam. Whoever does satata kirtane, satata bhajane, you are with bhakti, for them you show yourself all the time with your all your most wonderful nature. Itarebhyaha tu itarata. Those who don't have bhakti, they can't even access you. You stay away from them. So this is the meaning of Eka Rupa, Abhimatanurupa, Eka Rupa. And this is Achintya, this Divya Mangala Vigraha is, and Bhagavan's Swarupa, Rupa, and all these things are, it's beyond anybody's nation. In Vedanta Sangraha, Bhagavad rAmAnuja says, Ekatve sati nanatvam, nanatve sati chaikata, Achintyam Brahmano Rupam, Kastadveditum arhati. Achintyam Brahmano Rupam. His Rupa is Achintya, nobody can even imagine, and so we cannot apply all the rules that we see, Drishtantas in the Loka, what we see, they cannot be just applied to Bhagavan's Divya Mangala Vigraha. So, some people say that if Vigraha is present, suppose if Bhagavan has a Vigraha, then it becomes Savayava, that means it has got Avayavas and all that. So, anything that is Savayava is Anitya, that is what Nayayikas and all the people say. Anything which is Savayava is Anitya. So Bhagavan also has a Vigraha, so it becomes Anitya. How can you say it is Nitya? He says, Bhagavad rAmAnuja says, such doubts are all against all the Pramanas which establish without any doubt that Paramatma's Divya Mangala Vigraha is Nitya and Aprakrita. So this is known from Achintya, that is beyond anybody's grasp. And the Divya Mangala Vigraha is Divya Adbhuta, Divya Rupaha. That is, Divya comes twice here, one with Adbhuta and then again with Divya Rupaha. So he says Achintya Divya Adbhuta, and in the end he says Divya Rupaha. So Divya Adbhuta, Divya Rupa, one of them shows Vailakshanya. That is, the Divya Mangala Vigraha is Vilakshana from anybody, anything else. That is the meaning of the first Divya. And the second Divya shows Aprakritatva. Divya Rupaha is Aprakrita Divya Rupa. So these are the meanings of Divya there. And Adbhuta is also his avatar itself is so, it's Vichitra, and it gives Apurva Anubhava. Every second, every Kshana, he gives Apurva Anubhava. And this is Nammalvar also says, Eppodum Naal Tingal Ulidurum, Appodaik, Appodenara. He says every second, every kshana, I experience him differently. And so he has got Nitya Nutana. He is all the time. If Purvyaya Vedase, Naviyase, Upara Veda says. Naviyase means he gives unique experience every kshana. So that is his Adbhuta. And Vatapatrashahi, he became Vatapatrashahi. At the same time, he shows Vishwarupa to Arjuna. So all these things are his Adbhuta Chestita. So that is the Adbhuta also. This is the Divya Mangala Vigrahas Visheshana, which Bhagavad rAmAnuja is using here. And Nitya here is Kala Anavacchinnatva. That means it is not limited by time. It is eternal, basically. Niravadyatva is with respect to Divya Mangala Vigraha. Niravadya comes in many of the phrases and it has to be applied in those aspects. So here Niravadya, Bhagavad Ramanuja is describing the Divya Mangala Vigraha of Paramatman. So the Niravadya is without any blemishes which can come for a Vigraha, which is old age and all these things. So Jaradi Rahitya is the meaning of Niravadya here. Niratishaya Ujvalya is Subhashrayatva, Bhogyatva, and all other Mangala Gunas are described by Niratishaya Ujvalya. And Niratishaya means not having anything surpassing this. And it applies to all the Gunas. Niratishaya applies to all the Gunas. And Ujvalya is basically Bhaswaratva. This Bhaswaratva is told in many ways by various Upanishads and in Gita, Kathopanishad, Shvetashvatara, Mundaka. They all say, Tatatra Suryo Bhatina Chandratarakam Nema Vidyuto Bhanti Kutoyam Agnihi Tameva Bhantam Anubhati Sarvam Tasya Bhasa Sarvamidam Vibhati. He says in front of his effulgence, nothing else comes anywhere near. So, the Suryaha Bhati, Chandratarakam Nema Vidyuto Bhanti Kutoyam Agnihi Tameva Bhantam Anubhati Sarvam. From his Prakasha only everything gets Prakasha. Tasya Bhasa Sarvamidam Vibhati. So that is Ujvalya of Paramatman's Divya Mangala Vigraha. And Saundarya is Avayava Shobha. And Saugandhya is told in Upanishad Sarvagandaha, Sarvarasaha, etc. So for this Sarvagandaha and Sarvarasaha, in rAmAnuja Muni says a wonderful description. Aprakritaha, Swa Asadharanaha, Niravadyaha, Niratishayaha, Kalyanaha, Svabhogya Bhutaha, Sarvavidhaha, Gandharasaha, Tasya Santi Ityarthaha. That means all the Gandha Rasas, all the types of Gandha and Rasa, anything you can imagine, which are Sarva Bhogya Bhutaha, most enjoyable, and Kalyanaha, most auspicious, Niratishaya, Niravadya, Swa Asadharana, Aprakrita, they are all Divya. They are all not like the Prakrita, Gandha, Rasa that we see here. So that is the meaning of Saugandhya. And Saukumarya is, even though he has all the Mahabala, he is Sukumara also. Sukumaro, Mahabalo, in Ramayana and all these Smritis, we see this quality being extolled in multiple ways. Lavanya is Samudaya Shobha. That is Vishwamapyayan Kantya Purnen Vaitatulyaya, is told in Satpata Samhita. So his Samudaya Shobha is unimaginable. He gives joy to the entire world by the Kanti of his Divya Mangala Vigraha, which is as if it is joined with a Purna Indu, that is moon, full moon. So equivalent to that. So that is just a comparison that is given for Bhagavan's Lavanya. Yavana is, he is Nitya Yuva. So Veda says Yuva Suvasa Parivit Agat Yuva Suvasaha. All these are told in the Vedas. This Yavana is Swabhava Vishesha. And it is Anadi. Here we have to understand Yavana not in the Laukika context. In the Laukika context, Yavana is taken as understood as a state which is after Kaumara Dasha. That is Kumara, Yavana, like that. Kaumara Dasha. After that, Yavana Dasha comes. It is not to be taken like that. The Vyakhyanakara says. So Yavana is a Swabhava Vishesha and it is Anadi. He is always Nitya Yuva. He is. So that is how we have to understand this. And Adi includes all the other gunas which are told in various Shubhashray Prakaranas and all that. So that is actually the wonderful guna, Swarupa, Rupa, Guna, and now the Vigraha, Vishesha of Paramatman, the Aprakrita Divya Vigraha, Swabhimata Anurupa, Ikarupa, Achintya, Divya, Adbhuta, Nitya, Niravadya, Niratishaya, Ujvalya, Saundarya, Saugandhya, Saukumarya. This Niratishaya has to be, Niravadya has to be applied to all of them. Ujvalya, Saundarya, Saugandhya, all these. Lavanya, Yavana, Ananta, Gunanidhi, Divya Rupaha. So that is his Divya Mangala Vigraha, Vishishtatva, which is a very unique aspect in our Siddhanta, that Paramatma is all the time present with a Divya Mangala Vigraha. and it is nitya, that means it is eternal, and it is aprakrita, that means it is all the time there. And so this is very clearly told in other granthas, in Vedartha Sangraha and all that by Bhagavad Ramanuja. And he, in fact, in one place he says, Sadeva Somyedamagra Asi. Sat means, what does Sat mean? He says, Sukshma Charichit Vishishta Nitya Vibhuti Vishishta Diva Mangala Vigraha Vishishta. All these things he adds to this, so that we have to understand it is not just Sat means Paramatman. All this, whatever is told as Nitya everywhere, is there all the time with Paramatman. So we have to understand Paramatman and see him with all these things all the time. And after describing the gunas and the Divya Mangala Vigraha of Paramatman, Bhagavad Ramanuja goes and describes and extols the Divya Ayudhas and all the Bhushanas, that is, the divine weapons and the ornaments, divine ornaments, which are adorning the Divya Mangala Vigraha of Paramatman. Vichitra Ananta Ascharya Nitya Niravadya Parimita Divya Bhushanaha Swanurupa Sankhya Chintya Shakti Nitya Niravadya Niratijaya Kalyana Divya Ayudha. This is Bhushana and Ayudhas are described in Asra Bhushana Adhyaya, in Agamas, Bhagavad Shastras, and in Vishnu Purana also in a most wonderful way. Here the Deshika says Swa comes everywhere, Svochita, Svochita, like that. And the Swa includes all the things that are described so far. That means till now, Bhagavad Ramanuja has described his Swarupa, Gunas and Divya Mangala Vigraha. Paramatman, who has such a Swarupa, Gunas and Divya Mangala Vigraha, and now to such a Paramatman who has the Bhushanas and Divyayudha, we are going to describe. So Swa is Vigraha Vishishta described so far. Vividha means the variety in the ornaments. That is, could be Kirita, Hara, Nupura, and so many other variety in the ornaments is Vividha. Vividha Vichitra. Vichitra means in the same type of ornament, there could be various types based on the material from which it is made, a diamond or gold and such special materials. So, and with wonderful variations of color, form, etc., which is most divine and one cannot even think about. So we can only say it is Vichitra. So Vividha Vichitra and Ananta. Ananta is here Visheshana for Ascharya. It is a Visheshana to the word Ascharya, Ananta Ascharya, having unsurpassed most wonderful joy. Or his ornaments have endless wonderful qualities such as Saugandhya, Sukasparsha. So Ananta Ascharya means, Ascharya is wonder, wonderful nature, and Ananta means there is endless wonder. That is, Abharanas also have qualities like Saugandhya and Sukasparsha and all these things which we cannot even see or imagine in the loka from what we see in the Prakrita loka. So the aprakritatva of Bhagavan's Bhushanas and Ayudhas are such that we can say Vividha, Vichitra, Ananta Ascharya, and Aparimita, that is innumerable weapons also. And Achintya Shakti, that means one cannot even imagine the capability of such weapons, what one weapon can achieve. In the normal world, normally we need multiple weapons, multiple instruments to do multiple acts. Whereas in one weapon, Paramatma's one weapon can do multiple acts, which we can see in Deshika gives an example of Ramayana, where Sapta Sala Vriksha, Sugriva asked Rama to see whether he can break a Sala Vriksha, and Rama's Bana, what it did, it pierced through all the Sala Vrikshas, and it also pierced through Parvata, and it also pierced through the earth. So Deshika says you need different instruments for Parvata or earth or Vriksha, etc. Whereas one weapon, the arrow, which did all the acts of multiple weapons or instruments. So this is something like Achintya Shakti, where one weapon can achieve multiple things. That is a Achintya Shakti of the Ayudhas. And they are all divine and innumerable too. And among them, primarily, the Panchayudhas are famous. They are extolled everywhere in Bhagavad Shastras, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Sharanga, Nandaka and all these. They are called the Panchayudhas, which are very prasiddha in the Shastras. And all of them have got Niratishaya Kalyanatva. This is a very important aspect of his weapons, Ayudhas, the Anandavahatva. That is, Anandavahatva has entered into Bhushanas also. And the Bhushana, Ayudha, all are Divya, Aprakrita and Anandavahatva. So his Ayudhas, they say for the Shatrus, they are Bhayankara. Whereas for Bhaktas, they are all like ornaments. The Ayudhas also become like ornaments for Bhaktas. And they enjoy the beauty, the Anandavahatva of all his Bhushanas and Ayudhas and all that similarly. So these are the wonderful nature of his Bhushana and Ayudha. Both are described here. They are all Swanurupa, Asankheya and Achintya Shakti. It is Nitya Niravadya, Niratishaya, Kalyana. These are all Ananta Ashcharya was told for Bhushanas and Achintya Shakti is told for Divyayudhas. And both are Nitya, Niravadya and their Aparimita here. Niratishaya, Kalyana, Divyayudha. Ayudhas, the word Kalyana is used specifically because the Ayudhas are also Anandavaha. So they are also, the Anandavahatva of the Bhushanas has entered into the Ayudhas also, Deshika says. So that is how Bhagavad Ramanuja has enjoyed the divine weapons and the ornaments of Paramatman. And after describing the most wonderful nature and qualities of Divya Mangala Vigraha, Ayudhas and all the ornaments, Bhagavad Ramanuja goes and describes the Shri Vishishtatva in the Divya Mangala Vigraha. Swabhimata Anurupa Nitya Niravadya Swarupa Rupa Guna Vibhavaishwarya Shiladyanavadika Atishaya Sankheya Kalyana Gunagana Shri Vallabha. This is, in the very beginning, Bhagavad Ramanuja has told Shri Patihi. That means there it is, Shri is used as Swarupa Nirupika, whereas here Shri is also present as Visheshana and Divya Mangala Vigraha is also told. In the Vakshasthala, Shri is always present. So in the Divya Mangala Vigraha also, Shri Vishishtatva is being described by Bhagavad Ramanuja here, and Shri is also in Bhagavan's Vibhuti as being told with all the Visheshas, Sarupa, Rupa, Guna, Vibhava, Aishwarya, all these things. The Swarupa here is Divyatma Swarupa. Shri is also qualified by Asadharana Dharmas. And Rupa is Divya Vigraha. Shri has a Divya Vigraha just like Bhagavan. Guna, Niratishaya, Ujjvalya, Saundarya and all these whatever gunas were told, all those gunas are present for Shri Devi also. The Vibhava indicates Parijana Pariyavaraha, all the Upakaranas, Parijanas and all those things are described by the Vibhava. And Aishwarya and Sheela show two groups of attributes, which are Aishwarya is one group of attribute qualities. Sheela is another group of qualities, which also shows the Paratva and Saulabhya. And Adi includes all the Jnana, Shakti, Vatsalya and everything it includes by Adi. So here what we have to do is Aishwarya Sheeladayaha Anavadhika Atishayascha Asankheyascha Kalyanascha Gunaha Tesham Ganaha. This is how, though in the phrase Swabhimata Anurupa Nitya Niravadya Swarupa Rupa Guna Vibhavaishwarya Sheeladi. Swarupa, Rupa, Guna, Vibhava, Aishwarya, they are all combined. Looks like a Samastapada. There Deshika says we have to split it as Swarupa, Rupa and then Guna, Vibhava from the remaining, that is Aishwarya, Sheela, they are all actually the gunas. So Aishwarya Sheeladayaha Anavadhika Atishayascha Asankheyascha Kalyanascha Gunaha. Aishwarya and Sheela and all these Swarupa, Rupa are not included in the guna because they are more like they are different from guna. So Swarupam, Rupam, Tad Gunaha, Vibhavaha, Aishwaryadi Gunaganascha iti Dvandva Samasa. So Dvandva Samasa has to be done as Swarupa, Rupa and the gunas of the Rupa, Vibhava and Aishwarya and other Kalyana Gunaganas which are Nitya, Niravadya, Asankheya. And all these aspects are applicable to Sri Devi's Swarupa also. Nitya is Nirvikarataya Sarvakala Vartamanatva. So this is applicable to Sri Devi also, which is also in Vedartha Sangraha. Bhagavad Ramanuja quotes Vishnu Purana for this Nitya. Nityaivaisha Jaganmata Vishnoho Shri Anapayini Yatha Sarvagato Vishnu Tathaivayam Dvijottama. So Bhagavad Ramanuja quotes in Vedartha Sangraha this Vishnu Purana shloka to say that it is Nitya Eva Esha Jaganmata Vishnoho Shri Anapayini. She is ever associated inseparably, Anapayini, like Ahala Hille Nirayum, with Sri Krishna Paramatma. And so that is the Nityatva. And Niravadya is whatever was told earlier for Paramatma Swarupa. In addition, the Niravadya here has a special meaning for Sri Devi. He says, Bhagavad Ramanuja has told Niravadya for Sri Devi as having something more than Paramatma himself. Like Paramatma's gunas, Paramatma, Niravadya is told all the Paramatma Swarupa, whatever was told. But here there is an additional factor, Pitritva Prayukta Ushmalatva Rahitya. That is, a father is having something like Ushmalatva, that is, he may get angry. He is called Dandadhara, Paramatma. Whereas, so he has got Nigraha and Anugraha both. Whereas Sri Devi has got only Anugraha, Nityam Ajnata Nigraham. She doesn't even know Nigraha at all. So this Niravadya is something more than Paramatma's Niravadya, is what Deshika says. And this is told in Sri Gunaratna wonderful way by Parashara Bhattar. When he goes describing, he tells Paramatma, Shriyam Twattopi Uchaihi Vayamiha Panamaha Shunutaram. He says, I am going to extol Sri Devi much more than what I have told you in Rangarajastava. So listen very carefully, Rangaraja. He says, Shriyam Twattopi Uchaihi Vayamiha Panamaha Shunutaram. So Niravadya here, Deshika gives a nice meaning here. Pitritva Prayukta Ushmalatva Rahitya, which is a nice way of telling in this, for this word. And all these are Abhimata and Anarupa to Bhagavan. So this is Anurupatva is also told in the Vishnu Purana shloka. This is also told by in Vedartha Sangraha by Bhagavad Ramanuja. Devatve Devadeheyam Manushyatve cha Manushi Vishnor Dehanurupam Vai Vishnor Deha Anurupam Vai Karoti Yesha Atmanastanum. So this is the Anurupatva. Is whatever Bhagavan does, the Rupa she also takes, is what it says. And that is told in Sri Gunaratna Kosha by Bhattar, like Ghana Kanaka Dyuti Yuvadashamapi. That in that shloka he tells very beautifully that Ghana Kanaka Dyuti, if he is Ghana Dyuti, that is, he is Megha Satrusha, he is Megha Shama, she takes the form of Kanaka Dyuti. She is like the lightning. That is, so Dhanadyuti, Kanakadyuti, Yuvadasha, Tarunya Dasha. So all these things, where whatever the Dyuti or Dasha, everything, she becomes Anurupa. That Anurupa and Abhimata is told wonderfully by Bhattar in Sri Gunaratna Kosha. And this is also told by Alavandar in Stotaratna. Shantananta Mahavibhuti Paramam Yad Brahma Rupam Mare. There he says, Yan Yanyani Yathasukam Viharato Rupani Sarvani Tani Ahuhu Swaihi Anurupa Rupa Vibhavaihi Gadhopa Gudhanite. So here he tells wonderfully how the Anurupa is there, Anurupatva, in a wonderful way. Gadhopa Gudhani, he says, Dhrida Sambadhani, that is, Aparadha Bhitanam Bhagavataha Sarvada Sharanyatvartham Prapti Dashayam Sharkaranvita Dugdhanyayena Niratishaya Bhogyatvartham Cha Sarva Prakarena Shriya Gadhopa Gudatvoktihi. So Gadhopa Guda says Dhrida Sambadha. Aparadha Bhitanam, we are very scared with all the aparadhas that we have done to go and stand in front of Paramatman. We can't even imagine, because he has got Nigraha and Anugraha both. So he sees our karma and he is a Dandadhara, he may punish us. So Bhagavataha Sarvada Sharanyatvartham. All the time he has to become Sharanya. Sri Devi does the Purushakara. So Prapti Dashaya. How he does Sharkaranvita Dugdhanyayen, just like sugar in milk, where the Drishtanta also is very important. The sugar is a separate tattva, milk is a separate tattva, but it is mixed in such a way you cannot separate one from the other. They are inseparably associated, and they give atishaya to each other. They do. So niratishaya bhogyatvartham cha sarva prakarena shriya gadopa gudatokti. All the prakaras gadopa gudanite is told yanyanyani ithasukam viharata sarvani rupanitani. That is what is told by Alavandar, and that is the Abhimata and Anurupa, what is told here, Swabhimata Anurupa. That is the description for all these things we can enjoy from our other Acharyas' works and Bhagavad rAmAnuja's works also. And Abhimatatva is also Seshana Jagato Vishnu Patni is told in Shruti. And in the form of Vishnu Patni, she rules over the world. Same way it is explained for Ishwarim Sarvabhutana. Because of Abhimata, there is no Dvairajya. So these are all the pramanas which are told for Abhimata and Anurupa. And there are some other views on Shri Tattva here, which are outside of our Siddhanta. And some people say that it's not are cleared by separately mentioning. Bhagavad rAmAnuja has mentioned Nitya Swarupa, Rupa, Guna Vibhava, Aishwarya and all these things. And one of the views is Apratak Siddha Shakti. So some people say that she is only a Shakti. Shakti is a Guna, just like a Jnana and other things. It's only a Guna and she is not an independent Tattva, they say. And there is another view that she is just a Vyuha Vishesha, like Sankarshana Pradyumna. She is a Vyuha Vishesha, they say. There is another view which is says Swarupaikya with Paramatma, Mahavishnu. Shri is Swarupaikya with Mahavishnu. These are all outside views basically. And Deshika says, these are not the views within our Sampradaya, what I understand. These are outside our Sampradaya. Within our Sampradaya, there are some minor differences that we don't have to worry much. There are some, most of the things are agreeable to everybody. There are a couple of things here and there. But these look like something outside the Siddhanta, where some people say she is just a Guna, she is not a Tattva. Some people say she is only a Vyuha Vishesha. Some people say she is Aikya, Swarupa Aikya with Mahavishnu. So all these things are not correct. Deshika says in the Vyakhyana, Shaktitva Vada Astu Patnitvena Karyopayukta Visheshana Abhiprayaha. So he does Samanvaya for even such views, telling that if somebody says she is only a Shakti to Vishnu, basically it shows that Karyopayukta Visheshana, when a Patni is told to be Shakti of Pati. So from that point of view, you have to understand that he says, Ekatva Vadastu Samasta Prapancha Pratiyogita Ekasheshitva Ashrayatena. Ekatva Vada, which is always associated inseparably with Vishnu. So you can assume that they are both present as she is Ahalahille Nirayum, and so that is how she is present. So you understand Ekatva Vada in that aspect. And Vishishtaikyena Atmahavihi Prati Uddesha Ekatvadi Ekadevata Atva. Ekadevata means Aikya, if you say, take it as a Vishishta Aikya, that is Shri Vishishta Paramatma is Apratak Siddha Visheshana, and both are Uddeshyas and things like that. So there are some minor differences within our Sampradaya which are not very important to go through here, because broadly if you understand her Purushakaratva, her always she is associated inseparably with Paramatman, and we go to Sri Devi first and to do Sharanagati so that we can access Paramatman very easily. Without that we cannot access Paramatman. She is always having all the, she doesn't know Nigraha, she does only Anugraha, and all these things. These are told by Bhattar in one shloka very nicely. Yuvatvadau tulyepya paravashata shatrushamanasthiratvadin dhritva bhagavati harau pumstva sulabhan tvayi stri tvayi kantyan radimapati parathya karuna kshamadin va bhoktum bhavati vayoratmanibhida. He says, why you are both one and atmanibhida, you are different in the same Atma, there is a difference. Why there is a difference? There is yuvatvado tulyepi. You are all both equal in all these qualities like Yuvatva and all that. But there are some qualities which are unique to a man and unique to a woman. So aparavashata, shatrushamana, sthiratva, all these things are pumstva sulabhan. It is very easy for a man to have such qualities. And for a Stri, it is very easy to have qualities like Mradima, Patipara, Arthya, Karuna, Kshama. These are all Swabhavika qualities, compassion, Kshama, and all those things. So, just to show to the entire world, you want to enjoy showing these qualities to the whole world by just you have an understanding, and that I will show these qualities, you show these qualities, and that is the understanding you have, and that is the only reason why you are yoho atmani vida. That is why you are looking as two different. And he says, Tvamasir mataha shrihi kamitu ridam ittantva vibhavaha tad antarbhavat tvamna pritagabhidatte shrutirapi. If some people say, Shrutis say, only Narayana Tadeva Somyadamagrasi, Atma va, Brahma va idamagrasi, Brahma, Atma, Sat. Nowhere Shri is mentioned in so many pramanas. Why? How can Shri is a separate tattva? He says that antarbhavat. It is you are as a part of, inseparable part of Paramatman. You are inseparably associated. That is the reason why Prithak Shrutihi api na Prithak abhidatte. Shruti is not telling you separately because you are inseparably associated. So, if Paramatman has to be known, he has to be known as Shriyapatihi only. So, that is the reason why you are inseparably associated. You are associated. That is why Shrutis are not telling you as a separate tattva in some pramana. There are many pramanas where it is separately told also. Some pramanas do not say Shri separately. For those things you have to understand it in this particular way, is what Bhatta says in Shri Gunartha Ghosha. And there are Ahibudya Samhita and all those things, Vyapakau Atisam Shleshati Ekatattva Vivodito. They are looking like Ekatattva because Atisam Shlesha. So that is what Ahibudya Samhita says. So all these things show that there is no Dvairajya and a clear understanding of roles and responsibilities as per Bhatta. And they are both Ingitagnyas and work with Paraspara Anumati. Tadingita Paradhinaha Vidatte Akhilam Paradhinaha Akhilam Vidatte. Though he is Sarvasheshi, he is told as he does everything being Paradhina to Shri's Ingitatva. So she even shows with her eyebrows, makes a movement, Paramatman immediately understands and does whatever she is meaning, he understands. So that is what. And Srimad Ramamishra also says that Ubhaya Adhishthanam cha Ekam Sheshitvam. All these things, Pramanas show that they are inseparably associated. Sri Devi is Purushakaratva, and her Vallabhya is what makes Paramatman do everything as per her wishes. And because of that, Paramatman is always accessible. He will never turn down what Sri Devi says. And all these things are to be understood in this. And she has most wonderful qualities which are also asankhyeya. Ramanuja says, Swabhimatanurupa Nitya Niravadya Swarupa Rupa Guna. So her Swarupa is also Nitya, Rupa, Guna, Vibhava. All these things are Nitya. Aishwarya, Sheela, Adi, Anavadika, Atishaya, Asaya, Kalyana, Gunagana, Shri Vallabha. And all these are adjectives to Shri. And he is the Vallabha of such a Shri. He only extols his greatness. So that is how it has to be understood in this particular phrase. So far we saw Bhagavan's Divya Swarupa, his Ananta Kalyana Gunaganas, and his most wonderful Divya Mangala Vigraha, and all the Bhushanas, Ayudhas, and he being the Shri Vallabha, and Shri having such wonderful attributes, and he is a Vallabha of such a Shri, and all these qualities are extolled by Bhagavad Ramanuja in this Mahavakya. And next he goes to describe the Nitya, in the Nitya Vibhuti, all the Nitya Suris who are doing Kainkarya to him eternally and all the time, the Nityas who are present, there that particular aspect Bhagavad Ramanuja goes to extol in the next phrase. I think with that we have almost come to the end of the session, I think it's a logical place to stop here. I shall stop the class here and leave it open for question and answers. Thank you very much. So if there are no questions, shall we conclude the session?
Yes, Swami.
Okay. Shri rAmAnuja. Thank you very much.